Now, this young boy said he wanted to become a big boy in secondary
Wow.
school. So he saw some other students that
Wow.
are big boys, in quotes, because they are cultists.
Wow.
Now they said, okay, we'll initiate you into our group.
Wow.
And they told him to get some money, got the money. They took him to the bush. Then they used machete on the boy's bare back. They poured alcohol. You know, alcohol is flammable.
Yeah,
They poured alcohol on the boy's back, and then they lit it up.
Wow.
They lit it up, and then this fire was burning on the boy's back. Now, what did they use to put off the fire? Guess what? Machete. I am Ogisi Khali Elvis, and convener of Bring Back Our Youth Initiative. Bring Back Our Youth Initiative, it's an NGO, a non-governmental organization that actually deals on cultism and drug abuse in general, social vices in society. Now, our niche is around the secondary and primary school levels. You know, we go there, we talk to them about the dangers of cultism and drug abuse and other social vices like smoking, rape, premarital sex, abortion, and all that. Social vices, gambling. So basically, we try to nip the bud from a very tender age. When we look at the menace in the society, because cultism and drug abuse has actually been a menace in society. So we say, okay, what can we do as individuals? So we thought about this initiative and said, okay, let us help the young ones, because like they say, the youths and the young ones are the future leaders of tomorrow. True. I'm married, 3 kids. I'm from Delta State, and my primary education was in Delta State. My secondary education also in Delta State. Then I got into university and I left Delta State for Okija, Anambra State. So after a while, due to 1 or 2 itches, I came back to Delta State University, where I finally graduated.
All right, so to start with, I would love to know, we would love to know how you started with cultism, or how did you start with cultism?
Now, in our local parlance in Warri, they say that from clap, they say they enter dance. Now, while growing up, because I grew up in my extended family house, I grew up with my grandparents. They have different style of parenting. They have inclusive parenting and non-inclusive parenting. So I was brought up in an environment where the parenting style was a non-inclusive one. Because my grandparents were not always around. Now I had so many uncles and so many aunties in the house. Talking about 22 children in one building. Now we have all sorts of persons in there. We have criminals, we have smokers, we have cultists, we have prostitutes, we have all sorts. We have pastors, all sorts under the same roof. Now, while growing up as a grandchild of that home, I was seeing these vices being done on a daily basis. Now I would see my uncle smoke. And when they drop the stubs of the cigarettes, I walk there, I pick it up and I put a light on it. And I try smoking it. The same thing, they'll send me to go and get marijuana, they send me to go and get cigarettes, they send me to go and get alcohol. So I saw these things as normal. Now I can vividly remember there was a time one of my uncle and his cult members, they were having a meeting in the house. In that meeting, they were using these their conga drums, and they had their concoctions. They call it spiritual water. They had the concoction. They had their regalia in my family house. to tell you the type of parenting.
Wow.
So parents really have a role to play
Indeed.
in curbing this menace that we have in the society. Now, on that day, I walked to them. It was like a normal thing to me.
Okay.
I walked to them and they said, Smolly, how are you? And then, lo and behold, I grabbed one of the cup and I put it in my mouth. I took a sip, or I drank from it, and that was their concoction they used for their spiritual activities.
Wow.
And they all were laughing and saying, some were clapping. They said, rugged Smolly, you don't already join. No need, where you're big now. And that was my first experience with cultism, raw experience. Now, coming to my peers, they were growing up, they were saying these things also, because in Warri it's like a daily occurrence. You see different gangs in Warri. Now, my friends actually, they'll come to my house. We had a communication whistle. Wow. I whistle, and then I'll know they're around. I'll come down, and then we'll go to beer parlor, start drinking from 1 bottle to 2 bottles, and that's how we got into taking of strong drinks, which are spirits, and then start smoking on a regular basis. And from there, we graduated into smoking of marijuana. We go to the primary school field where people come to play soccer every evening. So we go there, and then we sit at one of the classroom and we start smoking marijuana. And I think from there, some of them now went into something stronger than marijuana. And when we go back to school, I noticed one of my friends had a kind of symbol on his hand, and I tried to ask him. The more I tried to ask him, the more he got violent with me. And at sometimes they come with some other of his gang members. They take my bag, they take my money, they take my school books, take my sandals, and the thing kept on happening. And I said, okay, what do I do to stop this oppression? And someone advised me. He was a very good friend of mine, though older then. He was far, far older than me. So he took me to his own cult group. And that was how I was initiated in the first place into cultism. So I think that's about that.
Wow. Such an interesting story so far. Anyway, we thank God we have you here. Because some persons who pass through systems as this, they don't survive it. And but I would just love to know, at what age were you when you were involved with this set of persons in your own parents' home? Like what age? At what age was that?
Okay, actually, I think I was like, because I was giving birth to in the house.
Wow.
So when I started picking up cigarette stub, and when they started sending me to go and buy marijuana, I think I was about 7 to 8.
My God.
Going to 10.
My God.
Yeah.
Wow, that means there is no age limit to cultism and social advice. Wow.
Yes.
That's wonderful. All right, okay, to further these questions, I think we'd love to know, we have, we hear of cultism these days, and it's been on the rise every day, you understand? So it has now gone deep, even into secondary schools and primary schools, and people go into the system without considering the ripple effect it has on them. Okay, so we'd just love to know, can you talk about this, ripple effects of cultism on people, on individuals?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
Yeah.
During our campaigns,
I
used to tell the secondary school students a story that I witnessed about a young boy. Now, this young boy said he wanted to become a big boy in secondary school. So he saw some other students that are big boys, in quotes, because they are cultists. Now they said, okay, we'll initiate you into our group. And they told him to get some money. He got the money. They took him to the bush, and then they used machete on the boy's bare back. They poured alcohol. Alcohol is flammable.
Yes,
they poured alcohol on the boy's back, and then they lit it up.
Wow.
They lit it up, and then this fire was burning on the boy's back.
Jesus
now,
Christ.
what did they use to put off the fire? Guess what? Machete.
Wow.
Imagine a back. The skin has already been cooked.
Indeed, yeah.
And then they are using the machete to put out the fire. Imagine the impact on the skin. Now, this boy's back was messed up. It was messed up, Now, being a young boy, he couldn't tell the parents. He was just nurturing the injury. He will go when he wants to take his bath. He won't wash the back. He will wash some other part of his body. He will wear his clothes. He will go to school. Now the school teacher started noticing that every time that boy's back was having some kind of bloody stains. And she said, "Oh, come, son, let me look at you." And she also noticed that the boy was becoming feverish. Like seriously. And then they took off this boy's clothes. For them to even take out the singlet, it was hell, because the skin was even stuck to the singlet. And this boy was rushed to the Federal Medical Center. Guess what? The boy died.
Oh my God.
The boy died. That's just on one side. How do they start it? At the spots where they go to smoke marijuana, they look for the young ones that are very vulnerable, the ones that look so tough. Then they begin to sell this idea to them. So don't worry, call some of your other friends. I will be the one to do the initiation. I will give you the name. I will give you backing. Don't worry, I will come with guns from the university. But that was where the guns were domiciled.